Good afternoon, dear students. As we have already discussed liberalization and privatization, today we are going to discuss about globalization. Under new economic policy, India bring in all these three new concepts: LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization, to help boost the Indian economy. So as we know, we had so many restrictions and we wanted to be more self-reliant and wanted to bring in the equity in Indian economy. So that is why we adopted few regulations, rules for ourselves to take our country forward. But when time passed, we started facing issues in terms of finance, management, technology, resources, all in all those areas. So at one stage, we faced very big problem in terms of foreign exchange reserves. So we had, as we know, we had only foreign exchange reserve for 2 weeks. So when we thought how to tackle this issue, how to manage this, then we approached International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. These things you need to know because we can expect questions on this for 1 mark. International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Monetary Fund, then foreign institutional investors, foreign direct investment, Reserve Bank of India. So like this you need to remember. So when they approached these guys, they said that okay, we will provide you funds, but you need to liberalize, you need to remove the restrictions so that everybody can do the business with India. And it will help you guys also to overcome the issues what you guys are facing now. So listening to them, we agreed on the conditions and we came up with this LPG concept. We will liberalize our economy. What do you, in simple terms, what do you mean by liberalization? Liberalization is whatever regulations we have, we will abolish that. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಔಟ್ಸೈಡರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಲಿಬರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ ಕೊಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಬಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ದೆನ್ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಇತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಲಿಬರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸೊ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಬಾಲಿಷ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿಯೇ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂಡರ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಆಸ್ ಇವನ್ ದೋ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ we were more into socialistic approach ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನೇ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋಲ್ ಡಿಸೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ deciding what is needed for people and how much we need to supply and how much we need to invest in which areas ಅದೆಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇವನ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ನೋ ನಮಗೆ ಎಕಾನಾಮಿಕಲಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಗ್ರೋ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಲಿಟ್ರಸಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ಮೊರ್ಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದಾಗಲಿ, ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ವಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ನೋ ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಲಿಟ್ರಸಿ ರೇಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೊರ್ಟಾಲಿಟಿ ರೇಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಲೈಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪೂರ್, ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ರಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಕೇರ್. ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೇನು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದಾಗಲಿ, ಡಿಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಒನ್ ವೇ ಮನಿ ಗೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬಟ್ ವೋಂಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಹಂಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಏನಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ in this situation when there is more expenditure and less income to the government, then this situation we call it as we are under deficit ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, obviously actually asked these international investors for funding. ಅವಾಗ decide okay we need to privatize. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಓಕೆ ನಾವು we will allow outsiders as well as insiders to enter into business. ಇವಾಗ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅವನ್ನ ಅಬಾಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇಫ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ವಿದಿನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಅಲೋ ದೆಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಂಗೆ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾರಿಫ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೋಟಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ, ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿನ ತರಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಹೆವಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಟ್ಯಾರಿಫ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಅಲೋಡ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಮೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ವಿ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ, ಫಾರಿನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಫಾರೆಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್, ಅದೇನಾಯ್ತು ಆ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಡಾಲರ್ started flowing into our economy. That time our economy started showing some good sign when we were able to manage our reserve and try to allow private people, because private people are that one person managing everything. How about managing everything by one person and many people managing different activities? So where we can see efficiency, good management in this second scenario, because most of the many people are there, they are taking care of different sectors. So hangidaga we can expect better management, efficiency here, rather than a single person managing everything. ಇಲ್ಲಿ single person ಅಂದ್ರೆ government. So ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಲೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು, as we discussed in the previous class, management we saw better management and efficiency increase. Then financial discipline we bring in. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ even private sector ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ economy started growing. So when these things happened, privatization ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ when government invested in the public sector enterprises, it started taking back that money. ಅಂದ್ರೆ equity ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ, you should know this also. Public sector enterprises, public sector undertakings. PSU means public sector undertakings and PSE means public sector enterprises. It full form ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. You should understand these things. Fine. Now, whatever government invested in these areas, public sector enterprises or public sector undertakings, they started disinvesting. Disinvesting means whatever equities they have and they invest ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. They started selling to public and even private people they can buy those equities. Or private people, if they buy the equities, it means now they have the ownership in these enterprises or undertakings. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜಿಂಗ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ತರ್ಬೋದು, ಇದರಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್. ಬಟ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ದೇ ವರ್ showing good, they were giving good results. Many companies, for example, they categorize them into Maharatnas, Navaratnas and Mini Ratnas. Maha, Nava and Mini Ratnas. So like that, ಏನು ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ತರ categorize ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, okay, these are very good public sector undertaking, public sector organization. So they are doing good. We will manage these things. Rest of the industry or rest of the sectors you can invest. ಆ ತರ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕಿದ್ರು, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟೈಸೇಷನ್. ಅಂಡರ್ ಲಿಬರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ they abolished licensing and they de-reserved whatever given to small scale industries. Then what happened in globalization? Globalization andre ಏನು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು, we will see that now. Globalization in simple terms, if you wanted to write this, you can write in this way. In simple words, we can write in this way: interdependent, integrated, borderless economy. It means that globalization means opening up our economy to the world. Globalization means we are opening up our economy to entire world. Means free trade. If anybody wants to do trading, they are free now. They can trade the goods and services. And if anybody wants to invest from here to outside, from outsiders to within, they can do that now. Means we are opening our economy. There is no restrictions, no tariffs, no stringent, rigid tariff system, no strict regulations or rules to do the trading or investment. Andre, we are opening up. We open our economy so that everybody can do the investment or trade. So, here what we call it is interdependent. We mean we are depending on each other, resource-wise, financially, technologically, in all these areas. If we want lack of resource, scarcity of resource, we can, as we are dependent on others, we can bring in those resources from outside. Even if they are facing resource problem in some areas, we can give them the required resources. So here we are interdependent. Then financially, if we need some funds, they can come and invest here. By that, even they do business, they will also earn and we will also get some financial funding. Social and geographical barriers. So whatever geographical barriers we had and social barriers, cultural barriers, adunu we broke all those barriers. Barriers not exactly. Andre culturally we are free now. We can trade our culture with them, and even we can bring in and adopt their culture, and geographically we can move to any place in the entire world. We can move to any place without any restriction. We need to follow some guidelines. With that, we can freely travel, exchange, trade, invest. All those things happen when we opened our economy to world. That we call it as globalization. Again, we are interdependent. Before, if you see, we were concentrating on self-reliance. Means we need to depend on ourselves, resource-wise, technology-wise. Because if we depend on outsiders, then they start dominating us. So that was the previous understanding. But when this new economic policy, they adopted this one, they globalized our economy. After this, the entire understanding changed now. The perception, it changed from self-reliance to interdependent, integrating our economy. And we need to go beyond boundaries like that. ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, we need to depend on our resources, technology ಅಂತಿದ್ವಿ. Even now, we are interdependent. Whatever before it is using resources within our country. Now, when globalization happened, it is entire world is one now. Now, whatever resources are available in the world, that is for everyone. Everyone can access to the resource in the world. So that is we call it as globalization. In our resources, we can get that. Suppose for nuclear energy, we need uranium as a fuel. So uranium we are dependent on other countries who will supply uranium to us. Even for petroleum products, we don't have that resource here, so we will be dependent on them for petroleum products. Even food products, we are good at that. Foods, human resource, we have a very good human resource. Youth population is very high here in India, so this is also a very good resource, human resource. So that's why most of the people, they look for this human resource. It means that at very lower cost we can get a resource here, human resource. We can utilize this resource at cheaper rate. That is the understanding. This way we can say most of the companies they wanted to outsource their work to India because of this human resource. Even as we are good at cotton, coffee, jute, all those things, we can export those goods to entire world. So like that, interdependency, the concept of self-reliance is changed to interdependent and now integrated. We together we come in and do some good for everyone. It is now win-win situation. Win, you also win and we also win. We will come to a common understanding where we will exchange, we will trade, we will do good things where we both can win. That is the concept of globalization. Correct? Even whoever wanted to have a relationship with other country, in that situation, both the countries are getting benefited under this globalization. So that's why now from self-reliance to it shifted to interdependency, integrated economy and borderless. So now we have no restrictions on borders. Boundary we can go beyond our boundaries. The borderless economy we can see under this globalization. Now, globalization, as I said, we have very good human resource and cost of living it is less compared to other countries. So what they will do, they have huge work. Banking, suppose banking industry, they are doing very good. It's very booming industry there, and they have tremendous work pressure. So what they will do instead of managing everything, each and every aspect, now few of the services they will outsource to India. Okay, now under banking, suppose this bookkeeping, accountancy, or any legal advisors, all these things now we will outsource to you people. Now please take care of this bookkeeping, whatever bookkeeping related, accountancy related, or taxation. If tax related information we need, we will provide that. You people manage that. We need skill set and accuracy. We need people who have that basic skill set, who can handle these things, and you should give us a great result. If you guys are managing these things, then we will outsource our work to you people. You can handle. Here they have huge burden of work. So whatever basic common things they can outsource now to India. Okay. By doing that, they are reducing their burden. And here, if they assign that work to within the country, the cost of labor cost increases to them because it's labor cost, human resource is very expensive there, and it's going to add up cost to them. And it is a tedious job. It's very burden on them. Suppose if they outsource that to India, what happens here? Human resource it is very good here and it is cheap also. So the cost will reduce here. Cost will reduce if they outsource that work to India. And they can get this work done by because these are basic works and they can be handled by others also who have this skill set. In that way, this is win situation for them also because they are reducing their burden and reducing their cost. And here it is winning situation for India also because our human resource now they are occupied. They are busy now with work. So the employment is provided to the human resource here and whatever compared to this country, even though the labor cost is very cheap, but within this country, whatever is there, the market price they are getting that. So for them this is normal, for them this is cheaper. But still for human resource here it is normal price. They are employed now, they are getting their salary or wages. So in that way, it is win-win situation for both. So that did happen when we went for this globalization. So this concept we will call it as outsourcing. Under globalization, we can see outsourcing, free trade, financial investments, all those things. We will see one by one. Now we will look into the outsourcing part. You might have heard of this term MNC. MNC means multinational companies. Correct? This is result of this globalization. A multinational companies means from different nations. The companies, their business, they are operating in many countries. Suppose US is there, they have bank, they have branches in UK, India, China, and other countries as well. So this bank is operating in different countries as well. We call it as multinational companies. And as the area of business is very large of this bank, what they'll do, they will outsource few of the tasks to UK and few of the tasks to India and few of the tasks to China. Here, when they outsource this, suppose any banking activities like selling the debit or credit cards, you can say debit or credit cards. Now they wanted to give these cards to their customers. Before that, they need to verify all those documentation, correct? They will collect that documentation and they will scan it and they will send it to Indian branch, where skilled people here, they will verify all those documentation, they will give the approval, the first level approval, then they will look into, then they will, the final approval given by this bank, and the cars will be given to them. So this is one of the outsourcing part. Suppose taxation. Many people, they are doing business, and we call them as auditors here. So auditors, what is the work of auditor? They will audit the firm activities, financial activities, then how much they need to pay towards taxation, all that thing. They will simplify it and give it to you guys. ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ, ಈ ತರ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫೀಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ ತರ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಔಟ್ಸೋರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ ಇನ್ ಯುಎಸ್. Our tax system is like this. So if we have this documentation, we need to look into these things, and based on this we have to give the report to them. It's just tax pay ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. So ಅದನ್ನ ಔಟ್ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, even that is also part of outsourcing. Tax related, banking, account keeping. So we can say accounting, taxation, record keeping, or you can say bookkeeping, even legal advices also. So what are the legal terms and conditions? They will provide the inputs to here. We have concept called pension. Pension is while doing job, we save some money into pension account. After our retirement, we can use that pension money. The same way, US is 401k ಅಂತ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 401k ಅಂದ್ರೆ this is again as it is like pension account only. While doing job, they will contribute some money to this account, 401k account. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರ ರಿಟೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ they have to follow some guidelines. If they satisfy that, they can withdraw money from this. So ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ withdraw ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ whether they're following these set of guidelines so that we can permit them to withdraw the money from here. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ತರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಔಟ್ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ investments, we know share market, stock brokerage, there the buying and selling will take place. The buying of some shares and selling of some shares. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, suppose the stock brokers, they will do this buying and selling of shares activities in a day, and the records whatever they have done, they will outsource that. They will outsource that to any company, and whatever the report the employees received in India, which they outsource to India, what they will do, they will do the reconciliation. Reconciliation means they will compare. So how much, whatever happened the transaction, they should match, tally. So those kind of reconciliation part they can outsource. So he tara learn ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ in all these areas. Investment, music, healthcare services, even security. We can give a number of examples here. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಔಟ್ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ education, accounts, taxation, record keeping, bookkeeping, legal advisors, skill making, pension, banking related activities. So many of the things we can outsource. Outsourcing means main activity we will take care, and whatever the sub activities are there, we will outsource that to the countries where the labor cost is very cheap, and we can get the skilled people as well. So if we are getting skilled people, skilled and cheaper. If laborers are skilled and cheaper, then it is very good option, right? We can outsource the work to that and we will taken care. So that's why we can see the outsourcing part here. So under globalization, outsourcing this took place where they can outsource the activities where they get the skilled labor at cheaper rate. This is also a result of this globalization. So after globalization, outsourcing means any activities is given to other countries or other place where we will get the skilled and accurate workforce at cheaper rate. So that is because of this globalization it happened. It is possible now. So hanಗಾಗಿ outsourcing ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ you can see I have made a list of the things here. IBRD, GATT had in this is in 1948 they came up with this organization. This is General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. So, andre whatever trades happening, that adana they were taking care. Same we can see this WTO World Trade Organization. In 1995 ಏನಾಯ್ತು ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಯಿತು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸಕ್ಸೆಸರ್ ಆಫ್ GATT, ಜನರಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾರಿಫ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಸಕ್ಸೆಸರ್ ಅಂತ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬಂತು. ಇದೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ದಿಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಟ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್, ಅಬಾಲಿಷಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ಯಾರಿಫ್ಸ್. ಏನಾದರೂ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಬಾಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫ್ರೀ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ನ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್. It has created a platform where all the countries can come in and do the business. Trading easy again. They started taking care of that part. Trading WTO, World Trade Organization. Here, I'm sorry, there is some work going on. Because of that work, you can't hear clearly, I guess. So, what I'll do, I'll quickly finish this globalization part, this World Trade Organization. So, we'll wind up the class. In the next class, we will discuss other parts as well. So, here, World Trade Organization, they concentrated more on multilateral trade agreements. Even here, when WTO formed in 1995, the multilateral trade agreements happened. In this, all the countries can participate and they can freely trade. So that's what happened. And in this, the intention here it was to use the world resource. So whatever resources are available in the entire world, all the countries they can now utilize these resources with the help of this multilateral trade agreements. And WTO, it has given a platform for all the countries to trade freely and use the world resources. So that is the result of this globalization. Now I'll stop here. Under this new economic policy, we learned liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So when we adopted this reform, what happened to our economy? What are the changes happened? That we will see in the next class. Okay? Sorry for the disturbance due to some work. So we can see hear that voice. There is some noise outside. So fine. I'll stop here. So when we adopted these reforms, what is the reflection of these reforms on our economy? Economy ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ, that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you for your time.